Nan Goldin is an American photographer who was born in Washington, D.C. on September 12, 1953. Growing up in Boston, she was introduced to the camera at the age of 15 by her school teacher, and her first solo show was held in 1973. It featured photographs of her journey through the gay and transsexual communities. By 1977, Goldin had graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and moved to New York, where she documented the post-punk, post-Stonewall gay, and hard drug subcultures through aesthetic and formal snapshots. Her glamour photography slowly developed into a more personal approach, in which she focused on recording her life as well as her relationships and those around her. Never arranging or directing her subjects, she has linked life and art together in a way no other artist has. Her work has been featured in numerous magazines, including the New York Times Magazine and a Japanese fashion magazine, Dune. It's also been in galleries and museums such as Matthew Marks Gallery and the Museum of Contemporary Photography. She is the author of several books, including The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, which is also in slideshow form, and her most recent, The Devil's Playground, published in 2003. Much of Nan's work is ethically evaluative because of its focus on gender politics. This personal and socially engaged art formed her most famous work, The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, which documents over 900 photographs of her friends and family in slideshow form taken from 1976 through 1985. These pictures are a personal diary of her past life. Nan explains that no portrait of her could be complete without the people she loves and what's around her. As a closer interpretation is given to images featured in this work, prepare to be taken back through time, seeing the world through personal moments of Nan's. Taken in 1980, this image is titled New Year's Eve Party. Chaos and emotion are eminent in this image. The women look concerned for the intoxicated man, while the men, on the other hand, are more prioritized about having a good time. This is shown through their laughter and raw, obnoxious emotion portrayed on their faces. This ethically evaluative image represents a parcel of time, acting as a window to an era questioning gender roles, of what it is to be male and what it is to be female. It is also explanatory because of its depiction of drag queens, which explores people living an alternative lifestyle. This picture is called The Heart-Shaped Bruise, and it was taken in New York City in 1980. It is significant because it is symbolic of one of the major meanings of the slideshow, how you can become sexually addicted to somebody and how that has absolutely nothing in common with love. This image is ethically evaluative because it alludes to sexual abuse and condemns it in society and relationships. It also incorporates the issue of gender roles because the composition of the subject's body on the bed, looking sexual and strong, despite the bruise, gives off a feministic feel. Called Twisting at My Birthday Party, this image was taken in New York City in 1980. Nan writes about the images represented in The Ballad of Sexual Dependency. Real memory, which these pictures trigger, is an invocation of the color, smell, sound, and physical presence, the density and flavor of life. This picture is a perfect example of that because in its straight approach, the detailed observable background makes the image come alive vividly in the viewer's mind. The dancing and smiling subjects shown cause the viewer to feel lighthearted and happy, and the unique perspective draws them into the image as if they are there with the subjects. It is easy to imagine the smoky haze in a room filled with the mixed smells of tobacco and alcohol. This image is important because it can be viewed as a mirror by telling viewers about Nan's life and friends, while also acting as a window to the 80s era of having fun and letting loose. The significance of this image is in its depiction of the transcendent need for human connection and intimacy, whether between friends, family, or a significant other. This image is titled Cookie at Tin Pan Alley, and it was taken in New York City in 1983. Nan's approach to photography differs from others because she did not simply photograph those around her. She lived a life through them and with them. The subjects of her pictures were intimate people to her, and the woman in this picture, Cookie, was a dear friend of Nan's who is no longer alive. This image is significant not only in terms of preserving Cookie's memory, but it reveals the universal struggle between autonomy and dependency. The warm lighting illuminating Cookie's face and her eyes diverting from the camera as if in deep thought help draw the viewer in to feel the cold and lonely atmosphere. The red colors in the photograph illustrate the subject's inner war between the desire for love and the loneliness being felt, possibly leading to her dependence on alcohol. Nan's candid and personal approach to photography adds an intensity to each of her photographs, creating a story and making it all too easy to be drawn in by the emotions portrayed. Nan's work is unique because her images are a candid record of her life, preserving the memory of people close to her. Her story reveals the universal understandings of the different languages men and women speak, but also captures a transcendent element of humanity, a need to connect. The Ballad of Sexual Dependency has forged a genre, and its influence on photography as well as other aesthetic realms has only continued to grow, making her work a contemporary classic.